Okay, so this is the big thick clutch kit out of that basket over there. Not that one. What is it? Yeah, that one, not that piece of crap up there. So there's your stack heights. Boom, boom, boom. So did I steal a plate out of here? I think that came out of that kit. Best one goes on that hub right there. Okay. But these kits were more equal before, as I recall. We only got 6 stupid plates, which ain't nothing. Looks like we're missing a fiber plate. It doesn't really matter, I'm not using it, so I don't really care about it. Alright, we're going to try to figure out what's going to make this thing work, so... Okay. So, there's all my plates. This is 7 plates, which is one more than one that came out of here. Okay, that one down there is rotating. That is aluminum, so it's not going to live very long if you put a clutch against it. Now they had steel. I think these guys had steel against steel. I need 2 hands to figure this out. I think they had a steel on the inner and outer on the factory setup. Okay, so there's you. We got an extra plate. 2 extra plates. Okay. So the end was steel on both inner and outer. That's how they ended. Okay. So what are these guys doing? It looks like they got plenty of place to do that also. Okay, steel on each side. This is still taller. Okay, quite a bit taller. Oh well. Live with that. See if it all fits together. A little bit tight on the hub, which I don't like, but oh well. Now this is a BDL clutch kit. It's not a Rivera Primo Pro clutch kit. Or the new American Prime now is their new name. So we're doing a conversion between Harley Pro Clutch. We're making our own kit. As long as we've got room for plates, we're good. We run out of room for plates, we're no good. Gonna be close. I'll have to make another one. Ooh, that is close. That might be a problem. See, the top plate is on the very edge, so when you release the clutch, it might pop over and you'll lose your clutch. If that pops out and goes on top of there, you're screwed. That's the problem when you're pushing it that much. So that's too much. Stack height is a little steep. So I don't know when my back clearance is on the other side, but I need to machine a little bit deeper, I think, to get me past this problem where I'm going to lose this plate. I don't want to lose this plate. That'd be a major, major problem. I've had bikes do that before, and you pull a clutch in and you let out and it stays disengaged. That would not be a good thing on the track. This here, this is plenty of room to go up and down on this one. I'm not going to lose engagement on that. That's fine. This is our spring. I don't know what kind of compression we're going to have on that. I guess that goes on top of this. This doesn't fit. What was this out of? Thought this is the one that came out of this bike. Oh, it rubs on the outside of that. Okay. This is the plate that goes on top. Okay, and the nuts do all the centering. Wonderful. What a design. These are your alignment dowels, and it puts tension on everything. What a crappy design. Okay. And the height is dictated. The higher the plate, the more the spring gets compressed. So I don't know where it's supposed to be at. That's a whole nother problem. Let's go ahead and compress it down and see what it looks like. If we over compress this spring, that is definitely going to be a problem. Alright, that looks like about 11/16. Oh, 5/8. Yep. Okay. Pretty flat. See, the spring is pretty flat before you compress it. When you compress it to release the clutch, then it's going to invert the other way. If it inverts, it can stay inverted at high RPM. And you can see how the clutch is right at the very top. So I'd like to see it down lower like that other stack was on the other clutch, even though they were used plates. These ones over here, these are used, so I know they're worn a little bit. But the stack height is considerably lower. So I have to run the risk of them coming out. And there's only 6 plates in here, and I got 7 over there. So it doesn't matter, it's the overall height that matters, not how many plates are in it. I think I need to go deeper. So I'm not sure how much more room I could put the hub deeper. I had to beat that spring in there, or the snap ring in here, because it wasn't deep enough. So it just barely went in there, but it did go. So we could probably gain 30 thou by doing that. And 30 thou up here is night and day between staying in and coming out. When you're right on top, 30 thou can be the difference between working and going home. Same on this deal. And these did compress in there a little bit deeper. If you got like 90 thou clutch release, that plate's going to run a risk of coming out of the hole. So I'm thinking it needs to be a little trimmy on the backside. So, how do we tell how far we need to go? Measure the height in here, I think. It's pretty close. See, that's the bearing that goes in there, so. 1060. Clip would have a little bit of clearance on it, that number. Yeah. It'd be close, but it'd be sticking, there'd be a little bit of a gap there, not much. $67 thou. Yeah, 50 thou. It's 20 thou. That one's sticking up 20, 25 thou too much. And that's the difference between running and not working, unfortunately. So I need to take it apart, press the port, see if I can take 25 thou out, put it back together again. Then I'll be safer. Problem when you're doing conversions and custom crap. A few thou makes a difference. Once I took those off all equally. Yeah, all the way at once. Other option, you sand all these down a little bit. Make your 20 thou it that way. I don't like how tight that is. Oh well. Okay. Do it again. That's twice we've had to take this bearing apart. So every time you do it, you hurt the bearing a little bit. Okay. Alright, we'll be back.